dear viewer, welcome back. It's me, Cam, here at Lincoln Speedway with the 358 sprints once again. It's the middle of May. It's pretty nice weather. We actually got a rain shower in the middle of the night. Wasn't sure if that was going to ruin our night or not, but we were able to push through it. I just watched that heat race with you guys, and that was a little crazy. It took me a while to get into a good headspace with that race, so let me chat through that a little bit with you. As we were rolling out to the grid, push truck was pushing me, and I could hear this sort of snap, crackle, pop from the right rear. It turned out that I believe the bleeder had failed on the right rear, and we weren't carrying any PSI in the tire. And so the sidewall was sort of crackling as I was getting pushed out, and there was no air in the tire. So I had a suspicion that that's what it might have been. But the push truck guy never came over or said anything to me, so I tried to sort of put that away in my mind and just thought I'd get on with it. And indeed, on the first lap there, going in turn 3, the car sat really heavy over. I picked up a huge push, could hardly get out of the corner without getting into the wall. And so from there, I thought to sort of maybe roll back a little bit, take it easy, maybe let the tire to get up to temperature or something. And then on top of that, we saw Andy Best was really laying down a pretty firm track of oil around the outside of the racetrack on the top line. And I had watched Tyler get into that going into 3, as you guys probably did, and he almost spun the car out, so I thought I'd stay away from that for a little while. So that ended up with me just kind of middling around on the bottom lane in the middle, not really making much time. And with about 5 to go, you and I both saw Logan ripping the top there on the top side, and he came almost barreling right past us down the backstretch. And that was a really pivotal moment in the race. Obviously for the whole perspective of the night, as you guys see in the feature, because this led to me getting into the redraw by fighting back there. But really, I reflect on that moment, and as I was in the seat, I had a flashback to some footage I had been watching from last year, actually, in 2024. In August last year, you guys can go see the video if you want to. I posted it. It was from a race, I think, middle of August last year. And I had started pole in the feature race that night, and I was running second to Andy Best almost the entire race. But with a few laps to go, we had a restart. And coming down the backstretch, I had run the bottom off 2, and Steve Owings had shown up and appeared beside me. And, you know, whenever that happens, it's a little bit of it's too strong of a word to say. It's a frightening moment, but sort of oh crap, let me make sure I give this guy a lane. And last year when that happened, I ran it down to 3, and I thought, you know what, I'll run the bottom and see if I can come off the bottom quicker, and that was a bad decision at the time because the top lane was preferred, and I should have, in retrospect, I should have contested that lane selection. I should have slid in, tried to get to the top, because obviously I had a ton of room. I was given the entire bottom side of the track to try and contest that. So that was actually my thought when I saw Logan here tonight in this race, and of course the story went differently. I'll actually show a comparison of that here in a moment on the screen in front of you, in terms of how you can see that decision take place. But when Logan showed up beside me, I thought, I can't lay down and take this because Tyler was running the bottom and Logan was going to be around the top. There was actually going to be no clean air, and I was just basically going to be resigned to 5th place if I didn't contest that. And I think that was a really interesting, pivotal moment from the race, because that sort of laid the groundwork for me to make it into the redraw, get 3rd, and then go on and you know, be able to start 8th instead of way back and say 20th place. Sorry, Logan, if you're watching. Anyway, that's just a lot of thoughts, a lot of me chatting about the heat race. The feature race is really good. We were really quick. Last video, I talked about how we didn't go far enough to make the car tight, and in fact, tonight, I think we went a little too far, which is a good thing because I was basically not able to move the wing back at all, which it's good to be able to sense out both sides of that issue because there in the middle lies the balance. And so I think we've been able to make a lot of really strong strides in understanding and characterizing both the handling and the balance of the car when it comes to Lincoln, which is in its own way a unique challenge because we start off the night with the track so heavy and we end the night always with the track so slick because the 410s have put their entire feature on it. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'll let you guys get back to the feature, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.